Hello everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to the Statistics, Probability and Machine Learning class. For a quick introduction, I'm Suresh Krishna and I'm going to be your Statistics, Probability and Machine Learning trainer. For the course curriculum, now I'm going to walk you through the slides to explain the course outcomes, agenda and the syllabus we are going to follow throughout the module. So for the first part of your course, you are going to look into the descriptive and inferential statistics, where we will cover the introduction to statistics and the 5 number summary. 5 number summary is a very crucial and very important part of any EDA processes, as this forms the foundation and the base of any EDA processes. So we will be going through the sampling and central tendency, where we will be learning about the dispersion that gives in-depth knowledge about the range, interquartile range and the variance. For the next part of the sampling, we will be looking into the simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling, and the cluster sampling. The next part, we will be going through the Z and T distributions, where we will see the 68, 95, 99.7% rule, standard normal distribution, the difference between Z and T distribution, and when to choose the right distribution for the right data. For hypothesis testing, we will be going through the hypothesis and its types, confusion matrix, where you will be learning about the false positive, true positive, and the negative rates, hypothesis decision rules, and for the next way of hypothesis testing, we will also be looking into the steps of hypothesis testing to formulate the right rules, the p-values, which will formulate and give the decisions of hypothesis testing, and we will be getting our hands dirty into some into mathematical problems of hypothesis testing, and we will also test for population proportion in the hypothesis testing. This is all about the statistics, and for the part of probability, we will be going through the point and interval estimator, where the estimators and designations will be formulated. Interval estimator problems will be solved manually by us, and interval estimator for population proportion will also be covered as a topic, where the data will be provided by the mentor and you have to solve it manually. For the next part, we'll be looking into correlation and ANOVA. This part is also a critical one when we do any EDA for any of our data, because correlation gives the relationship of the variables within the data set, and ANOVA is very much important in analyzing the variance of the data. So there we will cover the correlation and correlation coefficient. What is the difference between correlation and correlation coefficient? We'll be looking into the heat map of the data, by which we will decide the correlation of the data. We'll be looking into the F distribution. What is an F distribution and how can be used to formulate the ANOVA problems? And we will use the F distribution along with the ANOVA to calculate the needful things. And finally, we will be getting our hands dirty into some of our manual problems of solving ANOVA calculations. For the next part, we have joint and marginal probability. Joint and marginal probability is much important when we see in the probability perspective. So joint and marginal probability, conditional probability, statistical impedance, and multiplication rule will be covered in this part of the curriculum. For the final part and the last part, we will have Bayes theorem and Poisson distribution. For the Bayes theorem, we have Bayes theorem and its calculations, depending upon which we will be seeing a complete probabilistic algorithm in future when we go into the machine learning classes. So Bayes theorem is one very important topic in probability, followed by which we have binomial probability and distribution. We will be covering this part in the Bayes theorem as well, followed by which we have Poisson distribution and the calculations. So this is all about the probability. And moving upon to ML essentials, this part of the curriculum is covered before starting the ML, because before we start the ML, we will freshen up through few topics. First one is Git and GitHub. So these two things are the tool and a platform where you will store your codes, commit your codes, and do version controls of your codes. So this is basically a drive where you keep all your coding as a recording for the future references and collaborative usage among your peers. The next part is introduction and EDA best practices. EDA stands for exploratory data analysis, which the part of a data science curriculum to clean the data and feed the data, analyze the data for a machine learning model. So we'll be seeing the introduction of EDA and the best practices of EDA which we will be following, followed by which we'll be going through a three dataset EDA. First one is a Titanic dataset EDA, where we'll be going through rigorous EDA processes of creating graphs, plots, and charts and few calculated fields, for which we will analyze the Titanic dataset. And this dataset is one of the most common and most challenging part of dataset for any beginners in the EDA journey. And finally, we have one intermediate data set where we have the IPL data EDA. IPL is Indian Premier League, which is very famous across India. So we will be having the data of the players and their batting patterns and bowling patterns and all those things. So we'll be analyzing the IPL data, and we will be extracting insights from the data, by which we will come up with the decisions to choose the players in bidding till the end of the player who completes his matches. So for the next part, we have Forbes highest paid athlete EDA. So we'll be analyzing this data as well. So these three data, which is Titanic, IPL, and Forbes highest paid athletes, will be covered in the class as a part of a session, followed by which you'll be given two capstone EDA projects with the guidance and with the technical review and with steps on the roadmap of how to do the EDAs. And we are expecting you to provide us with the solutions and come up with a better way of analyzing and patterning the data insights. So this is it, all guys. See you all in the main section. Until then, thank you.